Hello! In my recent videos about acceptance, I've noticed a pattern in the comments. People keep saying things like, "You're wrong, you should always strive to improve yourself. Accepting your flaws will just make you lazy." This advice sounds like victim mentality. It will only make people give up. And honestly, I get it. There's a huge misunderstanding when it comes to self-acceptance. People think it means complacency or bliss in ignorance, that it means giving up. But here's the truth. It's not. Not even close, at least in the 21st century. Let's break it down. If we're talking about old school mindfulness practices, like traditional Buddhism, you'd actually be right to some extent. Those teachings are strict. They're rooted in a doctrine that makes people shed their individuality and detach from desires, even struggles. The goal was to achieve nirvana, a state of freedom from suffering through complete detachment from the self. But over time, it became clear that this one-size-fits-all advice wasn't universal. For many, it felt impossible, impractical, and dismissive of personal experiences that shape who you are at your core. But modern mindfulness is evolved, practical, and it's rooted in science, not just philosophy, especially with the rise of practices like ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, which doesn't ask you to become someone else. It asks you to become yourself without fighting your own emotions. So, what does it really mean to accept yourself without becoming complacent or lazy? Because let's be real, when you hear phrases like love yourself for who you are or just accept yourself, it can sound like nonsense. You're probably thinking, what if I don't love myself? What if I hate the person looking back at me in the mirror? What if I have an addiction? Should I just accept that? Should I just accept my garbage lifestyle, my shitty job, or how I don't have the energy to clean my messy room and just say that's life and be done with it? Does acceptance mean giving up, becoming okay with self-loathing? Well, yes and no. It's not that simple, and yet it's also much simpler than you think. Here's what you need to remember. Acceptance does not mean you agree with something. It doesn't mean you give up on change. It doesn't mean you resign yourself to your current situation or accept suffering as your fate. And it sure as hell doesn't mean you have to suddenly love yourself overnight. Think about it. When someone has a different political opinion or worldview than you, a mature person might think, I disagree with them, but it's not worth fighting over. That's acceptance. You acknowledge reality without agreeing with it and without fighting it. It's the same when it comes to accepting yourself. When you accept yourself with your flaws, it doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're getting real about where you are so you can figure out where to go next. Let me give you some real-life examples of what this looks like. You hate the way you look in the mirror. Accept that feeling, but also accept that you want to change it. And why? You don't have the energy to clean your room? Accept that you're tired, but also accept that the desire to clean is still there, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't feel guilty about it. You hate your job. Accept that frustration, but also accept that it's pushing you to find something better. And if it's your lack of confidence that's holding you back, accept that too. Only then can you work on overcoming it. You have an addiction maybe. Accept it, but also accept that you want to stop. No one who suffers from addiction doesn't want to change. The desire to change is already there. Acceptance is what brings it to light. Here's the truth. You can't move forward until you stop fighting where you are. It's not about giving up, I repeat. It's about seeing yourself clearly, flaws and all, and saying, this is who I am right now. These are my struggles, and I want to improve. And that's okay. Because once you stop resisting reality, you free yourself to make some real change. You don't have to love yourself today. But accepting who you are now opens the door to loving yourself someday. Thanks for watching, and have a pleasant day.